I'm interested in what does it mean to experience. Does an experience just happen to us? Or is it something we create? I would like to think it's something we create, and I would like to think that we have something to say also in how we think about that. We are here in Florence at the Palazzo Strozzi. It was built in the Renaissance. This building has been traveling for more than 500 years to greet us to where we are today. You visiting, maybe, is also traveling, right? This allows us also a critical reconsideration. Well, what has been going on? How did we get here? And where are we going to go from here? These are thoughts and ideas that I've been working on in my exhibition Il tuo tempo, nel tuo tempo. In Italian, of course, nel tempo also means weather. See, now the question of do you have an impact or do you have something to say when you experience the world? The reason why I think it's an interesting topic and what this exhibition is about is because I think the more we understand that we have the freedom, you could call it, we have the responsibility to take ownership of our own experience, of our own consequences, we also are more likely to get engaged into the world in interesting ways that are to the greater benefit of our surroundings. So here there's an exhibition where, like the piece behind me, the idea of movement, the idea of time, the idea of instability, if you want, is actually being addressed. Things actually change relatively to where you look at them from. There's no center axis. There's not really a set of Renaissance rules. There's no central perspective. I don't think that exists anymore, the central perspective as such. We know that it's brought us a lot of benefits. We also know that it is not necessarily the only way ahead from now. We need to find other ways. So the show offers you this getting together of journeys. You're traveling, the building is traveling. I'm, as an artist, so lucky to be with you and the building here today. And together, that notion of presence, of being present to your own time, being present to your own weather, is actually, I think, one of the great questions that will take us ahead from here.
Palazzo Strozzi torna al contemporaneo con Olafur Eliasson Nel tuo tempo, la prima grande mostra mai realizzata in Italia su uno dei più originali e visionari artisti contemporanei, proseguendo così la nostra serie di esposizioni dedicate ai maggiori protagonisti dell'arte del presente. Questo progetto parte nel 2015, quando Olafur visitò per la prima volta gli spazi di Palazzo Strozzi, rimanendo colpito dall'architettura rinascimentale e cominciando così una lunga conversazione con il palazzo quattrocentesco. Un dialogo complesso il cui senso si riassume qui nell'esposizione odierna. La mostra è il risultato del lavoro diretto dell'artista sugli spazi di Palazzo Strozzi, con installazioni storiche e nuove produzioni che ne sovvertono la percezione impiegando l'edificio stesso come strumento per creare arte. Il nostro palazzo rinascimentale diviene un corpo dinamico in cui elementi architettonici come le finestre, i soffitti, gli angoli e le pareti diventano protagonisti attraverso installazioni che utilizzano luci, schermi, specchi o filtri colorati. Dall'installazione ellittica nel cortile il percorso prosegue all'interno del palazzo, dove si rivela il dialogo diretto di Eliasson con l'architettura, attraverso l'utilizzo di luci artificiali, ombre fugaci, riflessi, effetti moiré e colori intensi. Il palazzo non è un semplice contenitore o uno sfondo, bensì un coproduttore delle opere, uno strumento creativo che interagisce con la percezione dei visitatori. La mostra prosegue ancora negli spazi della Strozzina attraverso opere che continuano la riflessione di Eliasson sulla percezione e sull'utilizzo dell'effetto moiré. Qui troviamo la nuova opera Your View Matter, che utilizza la realtà virtuale per sperimentare la percezione umana nello spazio digitale. Indossando uno speciale visore, il pubblico entra in un mondo digitale da esplorare, costituito da 6 diversi spazi virtuali. Eliasson presenta così una pluralità di possibili narrazioni con l'obiettivo di una nuova consapevolezza dello spazio da parte del pubblico. Oltrepassando i confini e i limiti fisici di uno spazio, la mostra Nel tuo tempo mette in discussione la distinzione tra realtà, percezione e rappresentazione.
Inside of this room, I have not placed a sculpture, a solid, something you can walk around. I've used the architectural sort of language of the building, the windows in fact, the glass in the window, to show something we normally just see through, to make invisible visible. What you see behind me is light, colors, something that is somehow hard to measure, but it is still what we look through when we look out the window to look at the world outside. I'm interested in this sort of membrane, or this sort of lens through which we see the world. We have a lens in our eye, we have a lens in our brain, the way we interpret what we see. When I've chosen to have this room empty, more or less empty, I think it's because there's more room for you, for your activity, and for you to somehow find out, oh, this play, this ephemeral play with light and, should I say, dematerializing what is normally inside of a space like this, maybe has to do with your presence being very significant. The title of the work is Just Before Now, and of course when we experience the world we do it now, evidently, and just before, maybe it's worth considering, well, I don't just look at the world outside the building through the window, I actually look through the glass. And maybe that quality of the glass, or maybe that sort of amplifier, or that sort of distortion if you want, maybe it's worth taking a look at that as well. The fact is that what we see are hugely tinted by the quality of the lenses through we see things. Walking through an exhibition, you encounter various kinds of artworks. There's 20 artworks about here, some of which are made particular for this exhibition, and some of them are very old and they've traveled up to meet you today when you see them. Think of your visit, should you choose to come here, as one of which you're traveling through or are encountering artworks in the sequence that I have laid them out, and find a way where you are in fact the one who creates the exhibition that you are seeing. I'm not inviting you here to consume my work. I'm inviting you to co-produce the works with me, with Palazzo Strozzi, with other travelers that have joined up to get together here and now.